So, well, first off, I want to say thank you for reaching out to me. So, kind of how this even came about was you sent me a message on Instagram and
Yeah.
totally out of the blue. Like I was actually sitting in my office editing a video for my other channel, and I look at Instagram and I'm like, wait a second, I've seen that name before, and it was you. You sent me a message. I'm not gonna share the DM, but like, basically, you were just like, hey, I want to share my side of the story, and you were like, I want to be honest, and you kind of you went into a couple things which made me feel like you were being truthful and like, yo, I want to share, like, I want to be real. And
Yeah.
also, I was like, for me, with the videos that I make, I've always tried to say, like, I always want the person that the video is about to feel like they can reach out to me and have a conversation, right? And so that's happening. Um, so I kind of wanted to just kind of jump right in. The first thing
Yeah.
that I wanted to do was, uh, like, I guess from your perspective, why does there seem to be, I mean, not even seem to be, why is there so much drama around learning to be fearless and your name? Like, why is there all of this, from your perspective, I guess?
Oh my God, it's so crazy. I was thinking about that the other day, just trying to figure out how all of this drama has come to this point. And overall, I completely understand why people are frustrated with all of this and how everything went down. And I think a lot of the drama has just stemmed from me ultimately not being truthful about getting my lower stomach removed from the start. Um, and I did have a comment moderator for a while, and I think they were removing a lot that they probably shouldn't have, I guess. I don't know. That I can't put blame on someone else, but the bottom line is like there was a lot being removed and a lot being like hidden in comments because I was so scared. Um, and I think that's caused a lot of drama, basically just not sharing everything from the start.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have my phone out. So if I'm like looking at my phone, it's because I have questions that I
Yeah.
have here. So don't think I'm like just like reading my phone.
No.
So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was there were some people that have said like you in the past have maybe lied about wearing a specific size of clothing to
Oh,
promote
that I see.
like to promote that you have like lost weight when in reality you haven't lost weight. So again, like I'm here to hear your side of the story. So what was that all about? Was that is that something that actually happened
Yeah.
or not?
Yeah, no. No. Okay, so here's a huge misconception and like issue. And if you're plus size, you probably understand. Depending on so many different plus size female clothing brands, sizing is very different. And I think this all comes back to as well people thinking that I lied about the weight loss, which is 1,000,000,000%. I want to clear that up. I genuinely lost the 30 pounds on WW and working on my fitness. I've been on it for almost a year now and I've only lost 30. I was almost up to 40. I gained 10 back. Like I I'm at this point where I just want everything to be out there. I will like literally even show my WW app with like
Mm-hmm.
weigh-ins from when I started it because I'm so passionate about WW and I think it's such an amazing way to feel more balanced with food because I love food. I love cooking and like I don't know, it's just shown me so many amazing recipe hacks and I never feel restricted and that's something that's rare for me with like diets and stuff. But no, I genuinely lost 30 pounds and I went down in sizes in all the stores that I wear. But, ASOS runs a little bit bigger than American Eagle. And like, there's just so many different clothing brands and things run differently. I wasn't lying about any clothing sizes, and I wear different sizes in different stores.
Mm-hmm. So the next thing that I want to talk about, I mean, I don't really, I'm not going to say whether or not I believe you or not. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do here. I just kind of want, to give you a place to share your, your side of the story, I guess.
Yeah.
And so the next thing, the thing that I think is the biggest thing, and this is the thing that I missed in my original video, and that's why I made the second video, and I now making this. Like, I wasn't planning on going down this rabbit hole at all, but
Yeah.
so there's I'm just gonna read out the message. So
Yeah.
there's a DM floating, or it's not a DM, but there's a comment floating around that says, um, I'm a big underbelly girl like you used to be. And then, can you please tell me how to fix that? And then it shows Learning to Be Fearless, which was your account back in the day, right? And it says, TBH, I've been really back into fitness the last few months, and the weight I've lost recently has been in my stomach for the most part. Shrug emoji. I'm also totally wearing Spanx in this video, lol. So, like I said in my video, that was a lie, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so, okay, before I even say anything, why? I guess is like, that's just my question, is why lie about that?
Fear, panic, being scared. I think I'm pretty sure that's the only time I've ever said anything like that. I've kind of otherwise just ignored it, hoping it would kind of just go away because I was afraid to address it because I was just afraid of what people would say. Um, but yeah, I wrote that comment just strictly just trying to cover it because I was panicked. I was so
Mm-hmm.
nervous. I wasn't ready to share it. I wasn't ready to talk about it. I didn't know if I ever wanted to talk about it. And also in that comment, I was wearing Spanx and I did also genuinely lose weight on WW and with fitness. But
Mm-hmm.
no, WW did not remove my lower stomach. That's not possible. It was a lot of skin, fat, like it was a lot down there. And wait, WW did not do that. But I did genuinely lose a decent amount of weight doing WW and getting back into fitness. So I take full responsibility for writing that comment, and I feel so bad about it. And I wish I had handled all of this so differently. Sorry, I'm a little emotional because YouTube used to feel like a very safe space for me. And I shared so much, and I wish I had just shared this from the jump. But I know so many girls out there are insecure about their lower stomachs, and I've always preached that self love, and I never ever wanted anyone to think that because I got mine removed that yours wasn't okay. And I was just afraid to share it, and I was kind of hoping it would just go away on its own. Sorry. Um, I was just hoping that people would just like let it go, and I shouldn't have written that comment, and I feel so guilty, and I'm so sorry to anyone, if I let anyone down. Um, I truly wish I had just been honest from the start. Um, but yeah, it's mostly I just wrote that comment out of fear, and I panicked, and yeah, I feel bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I it's definitely a tough situation. Like, that's when I made my first video. I tried, and I think that you saw that. That's why you hopefully felt comfortable reaching out to me. Was like, I tried to put myself in your position, right?
Right.
And I've talked about this a lot. Um, is being, I don't want to lump you in with other people, but it's just the easiest way. But like, when you like talk about like Tess Holiday or someone that's like made a lot of their brand, and a big part of their following is based on being a larger individual and embracing that and being like, regardless of being large, you can be sexy, you can be this, you can be that, you can be beautiful, you can be courageous or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I've talked about this, and I'm not trying to be like, I was right. That's not what this is about. But it's like, it's interesting because this is like a conversation I've had with people and just in my head, talking to myself, I guess. But like, it's, I'm like, what happens when you don't feel that way anymore? Right? Like, say for whatever reason, right? For whatever reason, but what happens when you're like, I'm not loving this anymore? Like, there's issues are happening, right? I might be getting rashes. I might be getting there might be things going on that are like, I don't love this. For you it was the lower stomach, but like, say, like, I always try to relate it to myself. So like, I'm very similar with preaching about loose skin, right? I have a lot of loose skin from losing a lot of weight. I have talked many times about not really wanting surgery, but like, I'm like, well, if I did decide to get surgery, would I be would I have not shared it, right? And the answer to that is just, it's just a no. Like, I mean, it's just a yes. Like, it's like a, on 100%, I would have just shared it from the beginning. Would there have been a few people that said, see, I knew you were lying the whole time and you had to deal with that? Of course. Of course, I would have had to deal with that. But for the most part, I'm sure most people would have been like, I get it. Like, I understand that you're getting rid of this thing that you've had for so many years. But with that being said, like, I mean, man, that is, I'm not trying to make you feel worse, but oh, like, that's not cool, you know?
No, for
Um,
sure. And like, I think the big difference though between me and you is, your platform is about all this weight you've lost and empowering. And, there's a big difference between this, like in this body positive world on the internet where you get shamed for wanting to lose weight or wanting to change your body. And unfortunately, I feel like I've been kind of detached from that world and kind of like exiled from it since I started sharing my WW journey. And I think, in my personal opinion, with body positivity, I think as long as you love yourself, you can do whatever you want to your body. If you want to lose weight in a healthy way, if you want to get surgery to change your body, you have to love yourself along the way. And that was exactly what I did here, but I wasn't truthful about it online from the start. And that's where I made my big mistake. And the whole thing is too, I wanted to keep it to myself, mostly just out of fear, because I didn't want to get judged. Because this is something I've preached for so long, and I didn't know if people would believe me that it was causing me so much discomfort. Um, but I should have just shared it from the beginning and taken the heat from the beginning. So especially as someone who shared so much online for so long, I think people were just like really confused that I wasn't sharing it and just like waiting for it to go away and like hoping it would just kind of disappear on its own. But it's one thing to ignore it, but I should have never replied that comment. I guess in my head, I was kind of trying to just justify the fact that like I genuinely was losing weight on WW, but no, it wasn't. It can't just get rid of a bunch of like loose stomach skin.
yeah, it's, I mean, this is kind of what I talked about in my first video is, it sucks that when you become, I don't want to, I mean, it doesn't suck because, I mean, doing what we do, there's so many positives, right? But there are negatives. And that one of the negatives is, the more you share, the more people are going to want to know. But the thing that I said is like, when it becomes such a large part of your brand, I hate calling it that because it makes it sound so disingenuous, but that is what it is, right? Becomes part of your brand. I feel like there is a level of transparency that has to be there, right?
Yeah.
And so in my first video before I knew about the comment and stuff, I was like, well, I mean, if you're not being transparent, like, yeah, it's kind of not cool, but is it the end of the world? But then seeing like actual like you being like, no, 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 I didn't do it, regardless if it was one comment or not, right? It's out there in the ether now forever, right? It's just, oh man, I what I brought up in the second video that I made was, I'm sure you've talked a lot about unrealistic beauty expectations and like all that stuff. And it's like, it's just like that truly is that. You know what I mean? Like having people follow you. And I'm sure you have a lot of women that follow you that like have found out about it and it didn't bother them. And that's great, right? Like, I'm not saying everyone's going to have an issue with it because they're not. But the people that do, I can't fault them for being really hurt, right? And I'm sure you wouldn't
Totally.
either.
Mm.
Um, yeah. So the other thing, one of the other questions, like one thing that I've heard a lot of people talking about was another surgery, I guess, about a chin procedure, cool sculpting. I guess that there was. Is there what's that about?
Was it the chin lipo that I had a really long
Yeah,
time
I think
ago?
like was there I think like people have said like there have been lies about that in the past, and then that's like why so many people seem to be upset about like this go around as well, cuz they're saying like it's a trend, or it's like a behavioral thing that's happened a few times.
Oh, I shared my double chin laser lipo like was that like 5 or 6 years ago on YouTube? So yeah, I was super open about that. Um, I guess I was more scared about sharing this just because I really preached the lower stomach stuff for a long time. And also, back when I got my laser lipo on my jawline, that was when I had lost a lot of weight. I think I was at my smallest, and that was always like a stubborn part for me. So it felt more natural for me to share it. And yeah, that's all I guess.
Mm-hmm. And so I guess I think I've kind of gone over most of the questions that I have. Like we've kind of naturally kind of gone over them. Oh, there was another one. It was, so when was the surgery versus when you started doing WW? Like what was the timeline on that?
Yes. It's so funny. I actually got the surgery on my husband's birthday. It was September 25th in 2019. And then I started WW in, I think, March of 2020, March or April.
So
So,
you got the surgery before, and then you started WW afterwards.
yeah, like I
Um,
was fully healed and they had nothing to do with each other.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, can you understand why some people like? I understand that, like I believe you that you really like WW and you like really believe in it, but can you understand why there's going to be some people that like are just never going to accept that you actually like use it, or you actually have seen results from WW because it like the timeline of the events.
Totally, of course. I mean, it's so unfortunate that it looks this way. And I can't force people to believe me. I can definitely, as I said, I can definitely share, like, if that will make people feel better, I can share in my app. I have literally like weekly weigh ins through back when I started it. I've been on and off the app for years. Like, you can see it back from like 2019 or 18, even. And then back when I started in early 2020. And you can see the weight loss. You can see me gaining weight back. You can see all of it. And like, it's been almost a year now. And I'm sure people are capable of being like this, but I can't imagine keeping up like a charade about loving WW for a year. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't really love it, I've posted so many like cooking videos. I started a whole other Instagram for it. Like that would be just like a crazy like long-term lie to make up. And like I would like to hope that people would see the passion in it because it's just so fun and I've shared so much on my second Instagram that in turn I just like I've decided I want to work on my health privately. I don't think online is the space where I really want to share it right now. Um but yeah, if people want to think it's not real and I don't know, I can share the screenshots of my page if it will help,
Mm-hmm.
but I know I can't change everyone's mind, and I can understand that people will be upset and not want to forgive me and not want to continue to support my content after this. But I needed to do this for myself because I felt really bad, and
Mm-hmm.
I just I just want a clean slate from here, and I want to make sure people know um, that I'm genuinely sorry that this all happened the way it did. And if I could go back and change it and take you guys along on the journey and be honest from the start, I would. But
Mm-hmm.
I can't. And all I can do is own it, apologize, and hopefully people will forgive me.
Yeah, I mean that's all great. I think like with the whole WW thing, I think like I'm are you sponsored by WW or do they pay you?
No, no.
They don't pay you? Okay. Well, I mean, like the first thought that comes into my head is if like someone can definitely keep up a charade if they're getting paid. You know what I mean?
And
So
no,
that
I'm
was
not
the
getting
first
paid.
thing that popped into my head. So you're saying you're not sponsored, you don't get paid,
No,
you don't
no,
work with them in any capacity at all.
zero. No.
Zero. Okay.
I pay for it.
Um
I pay for it every single month.
really. Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like,
Let's see.
yeah.
I
And
just
I've
want to
done
make
it for years
sure I'm not.
before.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I don't forget anything because I don't. I mean, I know both of us don't want to do this again, probably. So,
Not
um,
really. I
yeah.
love Louis this.
So okay, I guess like the the last thing that I want to talk about is just like being an influencer and dealing with weight loss and weight gain and being in this space. Like what like when you first started your channel, what was your like why, right? Like why were you doing that? And do you feel like you have kind of gone off track and like what is your goal moving forward, right? Like
Yeah.
because like for me, I'm not trying to make it about myself, but like when I first started my channel, it was like I had lost a lot of weight and then I was like, "Oh, I can share information," right? And then over the years it's kind of evolved into other things. Um and so like I've never had to deal with losing weight and then gaining a significant amount of it back and then losing it and then being in the public eye while doing that. So I know a lot of people that are like, you know, commentary based or they talk about this stuff, they get like whenever anyone gains weight, they get really mad, but like I get it. Like I understand how difficult it is. But you know, like what was the reasoning at the start and like what's the reason for your channel now, I guess is the question I'm trying to ask.
Yeah. It's been so long. Like I started back, it's been 10 years now, and YouTube was a completely different space then. Like you didn't there was no monetary situation involved. It was just for fun. Like I recorded literally on my laptop. And I started discovering like a few other plus size women who would post like outfit of the days. That was what it was back in the day. And I've always loved fashion and beauty. And so I started posting outfit of the days because seeing that these other plus size women were sharing these really cute outfits, and that wasn't at all in the mainstream media back then. It's getting better now, but I didn't see representation of myself anywhere as a plus size person. So seeing that on YouTube, I was so inspired. And I'm like, oh, like I love fashion. I want to do this too. Like they're so confident. I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would start sharing my outfit of the days. And yeah, it was all just fun. And then I kind of slowly started discovering this fun little world of YouTube, doing tags and Q&As. And um, yeah, so I think, to be honest, I think sharing so much over the years, I've shared weight loss. I was sharing losing weight for a long time. There's a lot of videos of me talking about when I was gaining weight. I went through something really hard emotionally off camera, um, where I did a lot of stress eating and I gained a lot of weight back. Um, yeah, I've shared a lot, like going back to college, leaving college, following your heart, going to cosmetology school. I've shared so much of my personal life and probably things that may not have needed to be on camera, but I always just wanted people to know that, like, whatever you're going through, I'm going through it too. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to share. And then because of sharing so much, I almost feel like it just kind of didn't leave me any room to not share things and to keep anything for myself. But it's just been it's been a lot. I've shared a lot, and I just don't know if that's what I really want for my channel right now. I'm getting older. I am approaching my 30s, and I'm approaching like having kids, and I don't know if I necessarily want to share so much of my personal life at this point. But I'm genuinely so passionate about makeup and beauty, fashion, lifestyle, just like really fun things. I love like lifestyle channels, and there's not a ton of plus size representation in that. And I think you can have a beautiful life at any size, and you should be allowed to do that. And um, I think moving forward, I'll be focusing on more lifestyle and fashion and beauty, rather than the vlogs. I might get back into vlogging in the future, but right now, I think I just want to share the things that I'm passionate about and that are fun for me. And maybe in the future, I'll get back into vlogging, but I tend to overshare when I vlog.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's led me to some of these problems. And then I think I became too vulnerable, and that's why I got so scared to share this, because like when you share a lot, like you're obviously prone to more criticism, and that was a big part of why like I decided not to share this. So that's what people can, I guess, expect from my channel moving forward. Um, it's still going to be fun. It's still going to be a lot of really awesome plus size content and beauty and fashion, but I don't want it to all be about my weight anymore. I feel like for so long, it's just been like, I'm trying to lose weight. I gained back weight, like just on and on and on and on. And like, I'm a person. I'm so much more than just my body. I have passions, and I think we all as a society have more fun, exciting, happy things to talk about than people's bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I totally screwed up by lying about this, but there's a lot of other fun things that we can do that don't have to do with people's bodies anymore, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes it just gets old. The body's the body.
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely understand that. So, I guess like the last thing here is like if you were to say if you were talking to someone that followed you and felt like they were um lied to or felt like they were taken advantage of or whatever word you want to use there, what would you say to them? I guess like if you were able to have that conversation with them.
I would 100% start with, I'm so sorry that I lied to you. You didn't deserve that. My channel's always been a very honest, open space, and unfortunately, fear won this one. And I am always going to be learning to be fearless. I'm not perfect. I'm a person. I make mistakes. This was a huge mistake. I wish I could have been honest with you from the start. I was afraid and it wasn't cool. And I appreciate the support so much. Like on that first video, it meant so much how people understood. I know a lot of other people out there understand all that discomfort that comes with having like a lower flap. There is a lot of uncomfortableness that comes with it. I wish I had shared it with you guys from the beginning, and I'm sorry that it all came out this way. And that's what happened when I didn't tell the truth. You know, I always have been honest and vulnerable, and I should have this time too. So I'm so sorry, guys, and I hope that you can support me moving forward. But if you don't, I completely understand.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I don't think there's really anything else to say. Um, yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, and I hope you have a good rest of your night.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for letting me chat and share it on this platform.
No problem.